officially have a start date for tea.
This is my voice, 1 month on tea.
And I am 2 months on tea.
And this is my voice, 3 months on tea.
And I am 4 months on tea.
And I am 6 months on tea.
And I am 7 months on tea.
And this is my voice, 8 months on tea.
Today I'm 9 months on tea.
And I am 10 months on tea.
11 months on tea. Hey guys, so today is my 1 year on tea. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about all my changes from when I started tea up until 1 year. I'm gonna start with voice, then I'll talk about body. I'll start from the top, work my way down to the bottom. Then I'll do emotional changes. Then in the last couple months, I started a new type of testosterone. I'll talk about changes that brought. And then in the last few months, I've started a new testosterone, a slightly higher dose. I'll talk about that and changes that have come from that. And then I'll talk about some unexpected changes that I didn't know were going to happen. And then finally, I'll talk about my third gender clinic appointment that I finally have a date for and is coming up. So first and most obvious change would be voice. Pre-tea, my voice was very high pitch, very, very clearly female. And over the months, it lowered and lowered. I don't feel like there is a certain point where it necessarily cracked. That doesn't happen to everyone, but there was definitely a few months between month 1 and month 6 where there was a really big drop in my voice. You can hear that in the voice comparison bit. So body, starting from the top, working my way down to the bottom. First of all, the first few months, I was really noticing losing a lot of hair. I thought my hairline was receding, and it was a bit, but now hair just sort of comes out and I'm very used to it. It's not really, I don't feel like it's necessarily making my hair any thinner, but yeah, just as a natural part of puberty, my hair is just falling out of my head. But it's nothing to worry about. I just noticed it a lot more the first few months. Eyebrows, I think my eyebrows have got a bit thicker. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna do a face comparison from pre-tea to now. A lot of the obvious things that you'll notice is my face shape. My face shape has changed so much. I think it's one of the main things that's helping me pass a lot more now, aside from obviously my voice. Face shape has become a lot more masculine. My face has become squarer, broader. And then the next one is facial hair. There's been a lot of changes to facial hair since I started tea. I didn't really have any facial hair pre-tea. And then since started tea, I've had little bits of hair come in here and there. Hair has felt really slow, but I'm aware compared to some other people's transitions, it's been quite fast. I have little hairs pretty much coming in almost everywhere now. There's not a lot, but there is, but it's consistent. Next change, neck. Yeah, this is a change that I wasn't necessarily expecting, but my neck got a lot thicker. There's muscles, I spoke to my doctor about this. There's muscles in your neck and they grow when you're on tea, they just get thicker. Adam's apple, I mean, I had one before, so I haven't really noticed it grow much. However, I have, when I touch it, I can feel that it's lower down and I can feel that it's a bit bigger. Working my way down, shoulders. Shoulders is another really big change. This is something I really noticed. My shoulders have got much broader. My body shape is just a lot more masculine. I have been going to the gym since I started tea. However, a lot of the changes from the gym are just muscle growth. But I think tea alone is what's made my shoulders a much broader. And carrying down from there, muscle, I mean, I will say since starting tea, I found gaining muscle a lot easier. I've noticed when I was pre-tea, I have worked out through different phases of my life, and muscle growth was definitely a lot less than it has been in the last year. I know that tea would have helped me gain some definition without working out, but the main reason I have gained muscle is from working out, not just tea alone. Since starting tea, it has been easier for me to gain that muscle. I think it's definitely grown at a quicker rate. Working my way down, oh yeah, body hair. So body hair is another really big change that I wasn't expecting that much. I was expecting some body hair, but in the first few months, it was definitely a tiny bit overwhelming, the amount of body hair I was getting. Now I'm more used to it, it's a lot more manageable. I'm not sure if I'm there at the end yet of how much body hair I'm gonna get. I think I'm still gonna be getting more in the future. Pre-tea, I had a bit of hair on my stomach, and that was basically it. Now my arms have much more hair, my chest has more hair, my stomach is covered in hair, my legs have a lot more hair. Pretty much everywhere I've just got hair. Also, where you apply tea for me has seemed to encourage body hair on the area. So when I used to apply more on my stomach, I'd get a lot more hair around my stomach area. Then when I started applying it on my arms, I would get a lot more hair around my arms. Now that I apply it on my legs, I get a lot more hair around my legs. Working my way down, yeah. So again, back to body shape, hips, waist, all of that. So my body shape has like squared out almost into like a triangle square kind of shape. So my waist used to be a lot thinner and my hips were a lot bigger. My hips haven't changed as much, but my waist has definitely straightened out a lot. I'm gonna try and find comparison pictures and put them side by side. Finally, it would just be legs, feet. I mean, my legs, I think, are straightening out. They were a lot more bigger thigh, smaller leg before, whereas now it's a lot straighter. And feet haven't really had any change, I don't think. I'm not gonna talk about any of the changes that a bit more PG in this video. These are things that you can ask me about if you want to message me and ask personally if you have questions about it. But I want to keep these videos very educational and available for everyone, so I'm not going to talk about anything that's too private. But if you have any questions about it, you are more than welcome to message me. My social links will be below. So moving on to mood. When I started tea, I remember really noticing that I had a much shorter fuse. I remember noticing that I would get angry a lot easier and I wouldn't really get sad as much. Over the months, that has leveled out a lot, or I've become a lot more used to it. More recently, I was always very aware that a lot of people struggle to cry when they're on tea. That never happened for me. I've been able to cry through this whole process. Now that things are a bit more level with my hormones and I'm on new tea, I can still cry. I definitely cry a lot less than I used to, and I definitely feel anger a bit more. My fuse is shorter, but it's a lot more manageable now. I've got used to it and it feels quite normal now. But anger, yeah, anger has definitely increased. But again, in the first few months I just noticed everything because it was all very new. But now, a year in, I'm very used to it, and it feels like me. Like, it feels a lot more like me, and I can manage it a lot better now. I feel like I can manage my emotions a lot better now because they're just more my emotions, the emotions I feel like I should have been having the whole time. It just feels more right and it feels a lot better. Moving on to the changes that have happened since starting my new testosterone. The old testosterone I was on was testo gel, and I used to be on 2 pumps, which is about 40 milligrams of testosterone. But in the last few months, after speaking to the gender clinic and explaining where I was, they felt like I hadn't had all the changes that I should have had. I'm now on Tostran. This is the bottle. I'm on 5 pumps, and that's 50 milligrams of testosterone, so I've gone from 40 to 50. It's actually changed a few things. I do think it's helped facial hair come in more regularly. I had a blood test recently and my estrogen levels were like really high on the last testosterone I was on, whereas now they've gone down really, really low, which is how it's supposed to be. I kind of messed up when I applied the gel, so I'm not sure where my testosterone levels are at. I think they're at a pretty good level, but I don't know the exact level they're at. Basically, make sure you talk to your clinician about when to apply tea before a blood test, because it really affects your results if you apply it at the wrong time. Oh, I completely forgot to mention this, but since I started tea up until now, acne was a really, really big issue that I had through the months. It got really, really bad at one point and I had to use some creams to manage it. Since starting my new tea, I've noticed my acne moving away from my face and more onto my body. So I've got a bit more on my shoulders and my back, but it's moved away from my face. Through this whole time from when I started tea, I was getting so much all over my face. I was getting acne everywhere. Another big change I've noticed is that I am not bleeding anymore. It's great. It just, yeah, another really big change that's happened in the last few months. I'm not sure if this is due to changing tea and changing my levels, or if it's just happens to have happened around the same time, but libido has increased a lot, significantly. I hear a lot of guys talk about this happening when they take tea at around the 7-8 month mark, 6-7-8 month mark. For me, it happened a little bit later. It's definitely a very noticeable increase. For me, it's like night and day. Emotions, since starting the new tea, I feel the need to cry much less, but again, I can cry. Another big change is my chest has definitely got a lot smaller. I think working your chest out really does help with that, but testosterone also removes some of that fat away. Not all of it, but some of it. And finally, I went to the doctor for a checkup, and height. So height is something I was expecting to not change at all on T, but it has slightly. I've grown a little bit. I think you don't really grow on T, so I think that's just due to the like bones increasing in size and mass has made me a little bit bigger. Now to talk about unexpected changes. So through this video I've spoken about a few different unexpected changes physically. So for me, the main unexpected change that you don't really read about this anywhere, when they tell you about T changes, this isn't a change that they tell you about because it's not a change that comes from T. It's a social change. My social experience going from female to male has changed so much. Like the way strangers address you, the way you are treated by other people, it's so different. It was initially, when it started happening, it was so unexpected that it was a bit overwhelming. Like it just caught me by surprise. But the way you are treated in society as a man is so different to how you are treated as a woman. Even pre-T, when people knew I was trans, like I'd still be treated in a certain way because people saw a woman. It's hard to explain how I'm treated differently. There is this big social change where you stand in society is different. How you are treated by other men is different. How you are treated by other women is different. And I completely understand why. But initially it was a bit scary and overwhelming because I didn't realise it would be a thing. Now I'm a lot more used to it and I understand, and this is just my new role in society and I'm learning it and I'm getting used to it. It's something I think doesn't really get talked about in a lot of these comparison videos and a lot of these transition videos. So yeah, when I can put into words the social change a bit better, I will try and do that in a future video. Finally, top surgery. So yeah, I finally have a date for my third gender clinic appointment, which will be to talk about top surgery and to refer me to the surgeon I pick. I currently have a list of surgeons to pick from. I'm just looking through them at the moment. My appointment is at the end of next month, so at the end of April, at some point there will be a video coming out to talk about my experience in my third gender clinic appointment and what you can expect from it, and hopefully I will be referred for top surgery. I will let you guys know. Thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, as always, just leave them below or contact me through social media and ask whatever you want.